Was cut out of my mom's stomach, I was put into a crib.
Okay, so she says once she was cut out of her mom's stomach, she was put into a crib. She was cut. Why would she describe it like that? I feel like she's saying it in a way of like, maybe she's not really bonded to her mom. You know, I feel like she says it in a way of like, okay, she was cut out of her mom's stomach. Like, why would she say that? She should talk about it in a way of like, yeah, once I was born, then I was put in a crib. It feels like some sort of disconnection there.
Bucket. It took me a year to figure that out.
Look, this feels like trauma, okay? Why would she remember that? I'm sure she was very little, but this feels very traumatic. She said, the bucket? What the hell is that? The bucket. Okay, so she was put in a bucket, in the car seat, which she calls the bucket. That means she couldn't move her legs. That means she couldn't move her arms. That means she was just there. Just there. It's horrible. It sounds traumatic for a little kid to remember those things. And she remembers them because I'm sure it was very traumatic for her. She said she was just crying on the crib, just crying. She couldn't stay there in the crib. It feels like she was just neglected, to be honest.
Well, once my legs started working,
It took her a year to figure how to get out of the bucket. What do you mean? Figure out how to get out of the bucket? How? That means the mom wouldn't let her out? Because she said, once my legs started working, it took me 1 year to figure out how to get out of the bucket. Like, what is she talking about? Shouldn't she say, once I learned how to walk? Or was she conditioned since very little, even if she could walk, was she conditioned to just stay in one place and just stay there to not bother the mom? That sounds very traumatic. She went through a lot of abuse with this. Well, however she's describing it, it don't seem like a deep connection with her mother as much as she says, oh, they're so close to each other and they love each other so much and blah, blah, blah. It feels like this video is just a traumatic explanation of what she went through. It just seems, it's just creepy.
they suggested I take riding lessons.
Okay, one thing about this, when some kids are very, very obsessed with certain things, like in this situation, she was obsessed with the dolls. It could be some sort of trauma response, and they give riding lessons with horses so they can, it's a form of therapy. Okay, so she said that she was obsessed with the dolls, right? She was very obsessed with the dolls, and like crazy obsessed. That's when the lessons of like horse riding and all that stuff, that's a form of therapy. So I feel like she was offered that option in school. So it kind of clicks, because if she was left in the bucket for so long, if she was just neglected and crying all the time and just neglected, just there, couldn't move until she finally finally figure out how to get out of the freaking car seat. That means she got obsessed with dolls because she needed some sort of control in her life. And she got offered this therapy lessons because she needed some sort of therapy. So it all comes down to trauma in her childhood. And
But
where's the rest of her childhood? Where is it? Why is she talking about high school? Why she's not talking about boyfriends? Why she's not talking about something significant in her life? I know the trauma that she went through, but I feel like her story time and drama life is just not, it seems like she's just skipping all her childhood.
I had no problem doing that. My teachers would also do weird things to try to make the students calm down, like putting our hands together, which they called hooking up.
For what I know, she was severely bullied in a lot of her schools that I do know. And she would constantly change schools, and she would still keep getting bullied. Get the teachers to calm down, the kids to calm down. What do you mean? I feel like the only people, or the only class that there's always a lot of noise and teachers are always trying to calm down is probably special needs class. That could be a situation. I'm not saying she's special needs, but maybe she went to a special classes where there's a need of control or misbehavior or something. I'm not sure, but she says that the only way for the teachers to get the kids to calm down is for doing hookups. I'm not sure what that is, but she draw this little thing with her hands. So I'm not sure what that is, but why was she in a trouble, some sort of classes, maybe special ed, something?
I also had a guidance counselor tell me he wanted.
Okay, so she says she had a counselor tell her that he wanted to be a father figure for her, and she thinks it's creepy. I feel like that situation is like maybe she didn't have her dad so much. She's really not talking about her dad at all in this video, and maybe she feels it's creepy because she had no dad presence, not a lot of her dad in her life. Why there's so many counselors and there's so many people trying to give therapy, counseling? Why? I'm just thinking that there's some sort of trauma that she went through, or she had a very difficult upbringing in her home, and that's why there's like counselors and therapy and all that stuff. Like what's going on?
From being in the city often, I was asked to do some modeling jobs. Cool. Maybe I'll do this for a living, I thought.
She says she did a little bit of modeling, and that could have been when the whole situation of the ED started, because you know how it is with models. You have to stay skinny, so maybe that's, apart from her trauma that she went through, maybe that was just the push that she needed, for her to everything to overboard and start her ED situation.
Is amazing.
Okay, so I feel like she's not really talking about a lot of her important things. Like I said, she's just skipping a lot of chunks of her life. And okay, let's talk about this drawing. She says, my mom and I are really close. She is drawing her and her mom, and then it says not incest. Why does she feel the need to put that out there? Why does she feel the need to be like, clarify, like, not incest, we're close? Like, duh, that's your mom. Why wouldn't you be close to her? That's your mom, right? Why wouldn't you guys be close? Nobody in their real mind, in their real normal mind, would be thinking that, oh, it's incest because you guys are close. What do you mean? No, there's no need to clarify anything. There's no need. Why is she putting it there? And it's just so weird because I've seen other videos where she's talking about that, how her and her mom are close, but she's always talking about incest. Is she trying to tell us something? Because I do see a lot of videos where she is like, her mom is getting naked in front of her, and it's just weird because she's an adult and her mom is getting naked, like fully just naked in front of her.
She really enjoys in pain with sometimes. Working in New York City.
This talk about her family, how her mom broke her foot and got Lyme disease and everything. She broke her foot, she got Lyme disease. Okay, her grandma comes and helps. What else? What else? She's talking about her dad, how her dad just works a lot in New York.
I graduated high videos and support me. That's my life.
Why is the family not more present? Why is the dad, why she don't, that's the only time she talks about the dad, that he just works in New York. That's it. That means she might be feeling a little abandoned, or she might not be, maybe she wasn't really paid attention to when she was little. That's why it feels the disconnection. That's a very weird way of expressing your whole life. Usually these videos last like 15 minutes where they're, talking thoroughly about their life, but she seems to have skipped just so much, she seems to, wow, it's just a very weird vibe with the video. I'm just gonna say it. So tell me, you guys, what do you guys think about this video? It just seems very, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It just seems traumatizing. It just seems like she's really just, it's just trauma. It's all trauma right here on this situation. It's just sad. Okay, well, you guys let me know. Let me know what do you think in the comments.